Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one gonna take a look at the Feud prep that's live, talk about some guys that might be good, some things like that. Um, so the perks have changed. The cheaper perk is the MP down perk. That's about 3 million to max. You can see the perk sheet above. Here on the right hand side of my screen, it'll list the cost, turnbuckles, all that, courtesy of 2Bob29. Um, so that one's 3 million to max. So I feel like a lot more people will max the MP down first. It used to be a lot of people would pick one perk, and it might be the MP up, or it usually would be the MP up perk. The perks on the left are what I have active so far. I ended up deciding to go with both the MP up and the MP down, and this is going to be an expensive perk month. Not really happy that I did it. I feel like I kind of have to compete. So it doesn't feel very much like a perk per se. It feels more like I spent a ton of coin to break even, because that's what I did. I have 2 reduced MP and 2 gained MP. So if someone else does the same thing, then I break even. Doesn't really make sense, but hey, what do I know, right? So basically, those end up canceling each other out. If someone else has 2 down, it's going to change what you can use compared to what it used to be. You go back to having 4 MP to start and 1 for your turn, which is 5. So not a lot of guys are 5 MP or less. I made a list here that you can see. The 1 MP move guys all have 1 MP moves, so those could potentially be big problem regardless of your perks. Sako, Kofi, Booker T. Zombie Triple H has a steal that feeds his 6 MP move, so I listed him in MP steal. APA Farouk, Acrobat HBK, Zombie Black. I'm sure there's a bunch of guys I've missed, but this is just a quick one I threw together that are also potentially problem guys, so that could do a serious amount of damage. Now, I also did some 6 MP move guys, because if somebody has maxed out their MP up, they're gonna have a positive of 1. So instead of 5 MP, they'll have 6 MP against me. So these are some guys that can do things with 6 MP. You got like Zombie Brian, Zombie Roman, Zombie Triple H, Tech Black, Macho Man with his 2 MP break move, HBK with his 6 MP, spam the board with Black's move. Harper's got his 2 MP destroy. Zombie Rock's got his 4 MP destroy. So there's some guys that even if you have 2 MP down, if they max their MP up perk, can still kind of go off turn 1. Then you got some guys with gear that can go off turn 1 regardless of your perks. You got Powerhouse Kane with his gear, Quake with his gear, and Fiend with his gear. Those can all still be turn 1 guys regardless of your perks. And there's a couple that normally run dual MP trainers, so your Zombie Kane with Boss Plate and your Keith Lee with his crazy move that does a bajillion damage. Those guys, if someone has 3 MP up, are still turn 1 craziness going on with 2 MP trainers. Now, there's other ways, people could use dual MP trainers and do, have guys with 7 MP ready to go turn 1 and stuff too. But then a lot of characters can't really do well, recycle, do as much damage doing that. So those are kind of the guys that, if they're set up right and somebody has the max MP up throughout the month and this turn and this feud, those guys are all still going to be viable turn 1 guys that you have to watch out for. So it's still a fairly big list. And like I said, there's probably multiple I'm missing. These are just guys that I knew for sure and added them in that you have to watch out for. So let's talk about the line bonuses. The top one It looks like, based on what's in the game, when you go to your home page, we got the original Triple H here, which his name is escaping me right now. But that character, the Blue Blood, I think it was. I could be wrong, but I feel like it was the Blue Blood. He's going to be in the game, so I'm assuming he's the other one on the top of the line bonus. That would be normal when you go back into that. So I'd assume he's part of the top line bonus. I don't know how you're going to get him yet. I don't know any of that stuff. Might be a mega, might be an event, who knows. So I'm assuming that's this spot here. The other spot is open, and it's a starting +2 MP. So if somebody has that card, basically, you know, it negates any of your MP down, and that's a good line bonus. So if someone has that, watch out for their guy, potentially one of their guys in that top row, not being on this list and still being able to do turn 1 and lots of damage. Middle row, kind of interesting. I'm not going to lie. There's not very many guys that take advantage of X-Break gems, but if you have one, it is 1,000%. 1,000% sounds like a lot. What actually does that mean? So let's just say you have this Triple H here. Mine's not high enough that it's going to matter, so I don't plan on using him. But say someone has him 4-star gold, 4-star bronze. He does the sub. He leaves the X breaks right there. My gem damage is like 2,200. Basically, that would make each X break roughly 24,000 damage when you break them. So if you put them on greens, his green is around 2,200 damage. So, you know, you break 3 greens for about 66k damage with his finisher. Not enough really for me to run him, probably. But if you had someone, let's say like Tech DDP in this slot to the right here, and I have Tech DDP, but I don't have my Tech DDP currently. So sadly, I won't be able to do this. But for anyone who might have a 5-star bronze Tech DDP, wow, what a line bonus. It's the line bonus of line bonuses. He's got a move that destroys 3 X-Break gems for choose at 5-star, but he's also throwing 2 random cross breaks out every turn, and he's got a stun. So DDP would probably have a lot of fun with this line. So if you have DDP and you have him at a decent level, go ahead and dust him off. Unfortunately, I don't, so I won't be using him. And you also get +1 submission gem damage and all color match +1. The all color match +1 might not sound like a lot to everyone, but if you factor that in with your perk, if you have MP up the 1, that would be 2, so a 3 match is worth 5. And then if you look at Sako here, just as an example, I have Rikishi. So each yellow match, in this case for me, 3 match is going to be worth 6 MP. So that's quite a bit, you know, a 4 match is worth 7 and so on. So that can make a big difference getting your moves off and your bleeds and stuff. I have the perk for a bleed bonus on Sako. So his 136k is going to be, you know, closer to 170, 180k. So somewhere in there, math is hard, but you get the idea. So that color match 1 is really, really good. It's going to be good for Zombie Triple H in this line, with his doing all of his chooses and just needing like a match. So that's a really powerful line bonus. Then you got the open slot here on the end. So this is a tech slot. In the tech spot, expect to see, you know, your Sakos, your Kofis, Aleister Blacks. They're all on this list, right? Those are all really potential problem guys. Johnny Gargano, you know, you can see him. John Cena now. I'm sure some people start having him maxed at 4-star gold, 5-star bronze. You know, you get an extra submission turn for him on this, and he's a great card too. So I would expect to see a lot of new tech John Cena as well. Maybe not a lot, but start seeing them. You know, it's a good slot for Ciampa with his 2 MP moves. You know, he's not as bothered by some MP down stuff, so yeah, pretty solid line for Ciampa for techs. And then you have the open slot. Most likely, I'm going to be running Kane or Earthquake. Probably Kane to start. I just got him 5-star. Want to mess around with him, see what that's like. But it's open, so expect to see a lot of Zombie Kane, Quake, Fiend. All the guys listed potentially on this list are going to be problem guys. If someone has 5-star, that you might see. Striker HBK is going to be strong like always. He doesn't really need the color match. So that's some real potential there. Oh, before I forget, I believe the minimum is 4, but do not take that as gospel. It may be more than 4, it may be less, but I think it's going to be 4. So if you're thinking about filling out your row, if you have a lot of guys that are going to take advantage of column break, row break, and green gem damage, you could also potentially fill the bottom row. So your Scott Halls, your Kevin Nashes, Johnny Gargano with the green gem damage bonus will be really, really nasty on his roll-up kick. You got an open striker slot, and an open slot altogether. So, potentially you could get a pretty great row here. Walter is going to fit in this row. There's a lot you could do with this bottom line. Macho, it's a good line bonus for Macho. It's a good line bonus for 6. And 6 with the MP steal, he could count as a turn 1 or potential turn 1 guy too. So a person could very easily, just as easily put together a really nice 4 slot in this bottom one if you had the characters you wanted to take advantage of that. So like I could put Sako here, and I could run this bottom line if I wanted to. For me, I kind of like the all color match for Sako. Getting more bleeds off is kind of big based on my roster. So most likely Sako's going to go here. Going to run some HBK down here. Striker Sean. So there's the line bonuses are really actually kind of fun. They're kind of diverse. There's a lot you could do. I mean, 50% damage to green gem damage is nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, it's just really hard to say because perks are new what everyone is going to do. A lot of people might be running the low gem ones. Like I would expect to see a lot of Booker T Hall of Fame, APA Farouk. With his 1 MP, like you see in Showdown, it's kind of a gamble, but those column and row breaks work for him, obviously, pretty well. So that's a pretty good line bonus for APA Farouk. It's really good also potentially for guys like Masters of the Universe Cena. It certainly doesn't hurt your Master of the Universe Triple H, guys like that. So, there's going to be a lot of interesting things. I think this feud, guys, you're really going to have to pay attention to your opponent's perks and who they have equipped. I think if you play smart, this is a chance to do really well in feud and not use a ton of health packs, assuming you have the perks to combat your level. Like normal, I'm going to go in with 4. I'm going to get out of here and refresh this. So I'll show you guys exactly what I'm using or plan on using. This still could change, obviously. Most likely, I'm going to do this. Here. So I only have 2 MP up, so 2 MP down. If someone has it maxed, HBK won't be turn 1. I can use the MP steal on Zombie Triple H and make him turn 1, or he can be, turn 2 without a match like HBK. Sako is going to be able to get his bleed turn 1, no problem, and Kane is going to be able to be turn 1, no problem. That's only a 48k roster. I don't anticipate going up against a bunch of huge guys that have a lot maxed. I used all my turnbuckles, guys. I have none, not even close to enough left with these two. So it would be really hard. You'd have to spend a decent amount for sure, I would assume. to be able to have +3 MP and +2 down. So I would expect to see some 3 and some 1, some 2 and some 2 like this. You know, maybe just MP down maxed, maybe just MP up maxed. So kind of play that by ear. If someone doesn't have MP down and you do, that'll probably be a lot of fun, assuming you have at least some of the MP up. If they only have 1, you know, still going to be able to do your 6 MP move guys to 7 depending on your setup. So like I said, this is kind of a weird one for me to do. I feel like there's a lot of information to cover and a lot is maybes, like what your opponent might bring and that sort of thing. But obviously, again, for the bottom line bonus, your Nashes, your Halls that take advantage of the rows and breaks. And there is a row and break, you know, those that adds up, getting those extra ones. You start blowing a bunch of the board up. Master of the Universe Cena in the striker slot, and then you got your open slot, like I said, Johnny Gargano potentially in the NXT with that green gem damage. His roll-up kick is going to be nasty. I know I got a couple buddies that are over 30k on their green gem damage for him. You add 50% to that, and holy moly, that roll-up kick's going to be crazy. So I would assume you'll see some Gargano and watch out for him. You know, I would imagine we'll still see a lot of the normal guys that people will use, like Zombie Austin, but if you have the 2 MP down, that might make that not such a big deal this time if you don't, you know, expect to have a counter to those guys like normal. But the 6 MP, the 1 MP, the gear guys, the dual trainer guys that normally use dual trainers and are still crazy strong would be the ones I would watch out for the most. And experiment this feud, guys. Really, maybe this stays this way, I don't know. But start paying attention to your opponent's perks a lot and get favorable matchups. You know, take your technicians against your powerhouses. Get that extra 25% damage boost. You know, if you're going against someone with purples and you have Zombie Triple H, throw them on for a coach. Use those multiply gem down coaches, the protect gem nerf coaches, if someone's using them. Also, if you have a Dango, if you have Harlem Heat leveled up and things like that, the protect gems buff on the defense is huge, and subs are huge for 3 more turns. So, you know, there's going to be some long subs, and there's going to be some really beefy protect gems. If I run into a lot of people with no MP down, I'll probably run Dango in the bottom line and turn 1 his finisher with double protect gem. No one's really going to kick out of that. I may end up doing that anyway, even if it's not turn 1, and then just pick my spots for him. So he may go in instead of HBK. So if you went all in on gem defense down like I did, that's going to be huge for your protect gem guys too. So look out for Dango. He could hit you and you're not kicking out. So there's another one there. Like I said, that'll help Harlem Heat Booker T. That strap went out. Might see some of him. He's not really too much of a turn 1 threat at all. You'd have to put 2 trainers on on him, and then you'd have to not have MP down. So I wouldn't really expect him to be a problem kind of guy. Anyway, guys, I hope you find this helpful. Love to know what you think in the comments. It's going to be an interesting feud, and there's a lot of perks this month. I spent more than I normally would on perks. Not really thrilled about it, but I feel like I had to compete. If there's a faction event where I have to do my 1%, I got to be able to feud, and I don't want to blow all my health packs. So that's kind of why I went that way. I'm not saying you should do that at all. If you don't have to feud a ton, then I would, you know, maybe pick one or the other and kind of go that route. And try not to have to spend a lot of your coins. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, what you're going to run. If you think most people are going to go for the MP up perk first or the MP down first, or kind of try and balance it. Very interested to know what you guys think, what you're running. Let me know in the comments. Really appreciate you guys watching. So thanks for watching, and good luck out there, guys.